Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to the F1 Word. Now, we need to talk about George Russell, honestly, and specifically about his future beyond the end of this season. Oh yes, that's right, it's a speculation video. Now, the Brits contract with Mercedes expires at the end of 2025, and there has been a lot of talk about why a renewal is still yet to happen, and whether or not Russell may find he is ousted for another driver, or perhaps may even be looking elsewhere himself. As you'll all know, 2026 is a huge year for Formula One with all the new fancy regulations set to come into force. It is, right now, rumoured that Mercedes has the early advantage on the engine side, and so if everything comes together as they hope and as is rumoured, the Silver Arrows may well be the place to be next season. Sat in one of those cars at the moment is, breaking news, George Russell, and he is staking a claim for it heading into those new regulations. He won the Canadian Grand Prix, which by his own admission won't have hurt his chances, but he's also had a very strong start to the season, full stop, a surprise, given where Mercedes thought they were going to be after winter testing. Russell has 5 podiums to his name in total in 2025 and has picked up solid points at every weekend bar one all season so far. He's also delivered some exceptional drives, and although very much a long shot, is perhaps consistent enough to be a very outside threat of upsetting the top 3 in the standings right now if they all start tripping over each other. He's been impressive in my opinion. Okay, he is in his 4th full season with Mercedes, his 7th year already overall in F1. Where on earth has that time gone, by the way? And he did beat Lewis Hamilton twice in their 3 seasons together, so his apparent solid step forward and his team leader status perhaps means that this form is not a total surprise. Here's the big question then. Given his form and those results I've already mentioned, why haven't the Silver Arrows tied him down to a new deal? Well, as is always the case when it comes to these speculation videos, I am just a fan like most of you after all. We don't actually know for sure, and we're never going to get to know until the announcements come, are we? But there are clues and theories out there that might answer that question. First off, it is only June and there's plenty of time to the end of the year, so it's not like they need to sign him up tomorrow, but you'd still expect to hear some sort of movement. Also, and probably more a factor, is the Max Verstappen effect. Yes, the Dutchman is tied down to Red Bull until 2028, but drivers can always get out of contracts if they want to, and the rumoured escape clause or clauses in his contract might well open the door to an exit as early as the end of this year. Given he is a phenomenal driver and talent with even more still to give, it's natural that teams who might be able to coax him away are keeping their options open. Until he categorically tells potential suitors, either privately or publicly, that he isn't moving, they have to keep a seat open just in case. I mean, come on, you don't want to be the team boss who passed up the opportunity to sign Max Verstappen because you locked down your lineups too early. And that, in Toto Wolff's case, would be another punch in the gut for him, because of course he missed out on the opportunity to sign Verstappen as a youngster all those years ago. Max has always been seen as the one that got away for Toto and Mercedes. There are also question marks around the longer-term futures of Charles Leclerc, for example, starting to rear their head. And so, in theory, Mercedes don't have to rush and can wait a little bit longer to see how things shake out before making any kind of call. However, they do not want to be leaving it too much longer, because this isn't just about Mercedes making a decision. You don't want to leave George feeling as though he's not wanted or isn't first choice, or even allow someone else to swoop in and take him away. And that's another good point as well, even if I do say so myself. There are also some tantalising prospects out there for Russell alongside the possibility of staying where he is. Whilst it is a relationship and a project in its relevant infancy, Aston Martin offers up a Works Honda deal and a chance to work with Adrian Newey, something most drivers definitely want to do at some point in their career. It would be a gamble given again how early stages that project is, but tempting nonetheless. If Verstappen did leave Red Bull, and again, as I've said before in other videos, it's still a big if, then there might be an opening there too. Sure, anybody but Max has struggled with the current car, but with the new regulations kicking in, that may well not be the case anymore. The car might be more drivable and might suit more driving styles. And Alpine seems intent as well on giving every driver and team boss a go at some stage, so maybe there is something in there as well. There is a reason, by the way, why I mentioned those 3 teams, Aston, Alpine and Red Bull specifically. I didn't just pull them out of my backside. And that is that he has been linked to all of them in recent weeks and months in some way. In China, Russell was spotted embracing Alpine's Flavio Briatore. Yeah, I know, massive news. And in April, reports emerged that Russell had held tentative discussions with Christian Horner with a view to a deal for 2026. Plus, only last week, a report by The Times claimed that Aston Martin have now emerged as a new potential destination for George, with the team, and I'll quote the article here, understood to be one of those who have expressed interest in him. Okay, I can hear you saying it, that's all paper talk and very much speculation, but the links are there. And hey, if Fernando Alonso was having more than a chat over a bit of lunch with his old pal Flavio Briatore, then there might be a seat at the Silverstone squad about to appear, so let's wait and see what happens. It is also important to make the point that Russell has said the team has bigger fish to fry right now, and so contract talks are on hold whilst they focus on turning around their fortunes in 2025, although that was said before he won in Canada, so maybe that's changed now. He also added as well that his intention and goal is to stay with Mercedes, and he believes that's very much the intention of Toto Wolff as well. And Wolff himself said in Monaco, when asked if Russell would have to wait until September before a decision was made, that he wouldn't have to wait that long and, quote, George and I are totally clear of how this is going to go and there is 100% alignment. Yet, here we are, no apparent progress, a load of rumours and new links to other teams emerging. Perhaps, yeah, a symptom of what feels like quite a late start to silly season, or could there be more going on? So that's effectively the state of play, I suppose. Russell, good stuff, probably earned and wants the renewal. Mercedes have options, would like to keep George but shouldn't wait too long, and other opportunities elsewhere for the Brit. But what now, and should Russell stay where he is? Well, the answer as of today, in my opinion at least, is yes, he absolutely should stay where he is. Yeah, there are some interesting projects out there, but I don't think any of them can offer him what the Silver Arrows can with any level of certainty, not that such a thing really exists in F1. The 2026 power unit sounds like it could offer them the sort of advantage they enjoyed in the past, but at the very least, it is rumoured to be the best as things stand today. Couple that with the fact it is a manufacturer team, which means the integration of the new power unit with the new aerodynamic regulations should be more refined than, say, a customer team like McLaren, for example, and the fact he is likely to be the outright team leader again going forward, plus the whole better the devil you know argument, and I see no reason for him to leave. He's also got a great relationship so far with new teammate Kimi Antonelli. Why rock the boat? Well, I'll answer that immediately. The biggest threat to Russell's position is Max Verstappen. That's why you rock the boat. And as I said a bit ago, until he shuts it all down and says, this is what I'm doing, teams have surely got to keep their options open just in case. And no, I don't see the team moving Antonelli on, even if just on loan, to accommodate a potentially explosive lineup of George and Max. But again, they can't wait too much longer for Verstappen in case Russell gets itchy feet and moves elsewhere. And it's actually, when you think about it, a pretty tricky, albeit very nice position for Mercedes to be in. It's a tough balancing act. But if Verstappen stays where he is or goes somewhere other than the Silver Arrows, then Russell stays put. So I've probably already answered this, but I'll do it anyway, as this is largely an opinion piece, as most videos will hopefully be again going forward, by the way. What would I do? Honestly, I would do what Mercedes are rumoured to be doing at the moment and keep an eye on what Verstappen does before making a final decision. But I'd keep Russell on side, give him the car he needs and also keep him informed. But the second the chance to sign Max disappears, or even as soon as somebody starts sniffing around George properly, Mercedes might not thank me, but get the contract out, put it on the table, let him sign it, let him write whatever numbers he wants to put on there, give him what he's done since he's come in. George is at the wheel, man. He is doing it. Yeah, right, fine, that was a bit much and I didn't mean to channel my inner Rio, but you get my point. I mean, who else is there really anyway? Sure, maybe Leclerc if he is becoming unsettled, perhaps promoting Antonelli to lead driver and bringing someone else in behind him, but that seems stupidly too soon. Other than that, I'm really not sure, so they have to keep George, surely. Look, is he the most exciting personality? No chance. Is he the best driver in F1? Not at all. But is he a relatively safe pair of hands with some really good experience under his belt, who knows the team inside out and who is delivering the performances and results the team needs right now? Absolutely. I will end on this little teaser though, I suppose. He is delivering the results right now, no doubt about that, but potentially the even bigger question Mercedes needs to ask is this. Is he the driver to lead the team to a title if they are the ones to beat in 2026? If the answer is yes, then that solves that. However, if the answer is no, then they may well need to shop around even if Verstappen doesn't become available. So if Russell can build on what he's done so far this year, it might go a long way to convincing the team he is definitely their championship challenging man. Interesting few weeks and months ahead for sure. That is it for this one then, but remember, and it's been a while since I've used this specific line, those were just a few of my thoughts and my opinions, but what do you guys think? Do you think Mercedes should tie down Russell to a contract ASAP? Or do you agree with me that they should keep their options open just for now? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, I will be back later this week with some more content as always, but in the meantime, if you did enjoy this one, then please do leave a like, because it really does help the channel in its never-ending battle with that pesky YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing too so you don't miss any future videos or streams. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.